Hello, and welcome to What If This Was It? I'm your host, Bailey, and before I dive deep into this episode, I just want to thank you all for tuning in today. So, this first episode is basically just an introduction, right? I'm simply answering questions such as, who are you? Why are you doing this? You know, the basics. So don't expect this episode to be too long, and if it is, I'm sorry. But before I get started, first, again, I want to thank you all for tuning in today. You know, my goal for this podcast and this series is to reach as far and as wide as possible. So all you guys tuning in and viewing this, it already helps tremendously. But with that being said, if you like what you hear today, please do me a favor and smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, and share this as much as possible. Then go join our other accounts. Some of you guys might have come from the Instagram account, which if you're not part of it yet, go follow at What If This Was It. That is exactly how it's spelled, no spaces, no capital letters, at What If This Was It on Instagram. Beside that, you can also follow the Discord server called the WITWI podcast, or the Witwe podcast if you want to call it that. Personally, I'm not sure how much I feel good about it. It's iffy for me. But regardless, there is where you can request to be featured and discuss the episodes that are put out within a community. There will be links for both the Discord and the Instagram in the description below. But if for some reason it doesn't work, feel free to leave a comment and I can help you out from there. One last thing, I do want to say thank you to my amazing team, Tempest, Frostbite, and Serverbum. Hopefully you guys are watching this, and I just want to say thank you so much. These people were quick to jump up to ask to help set up this podcast and the community. You'll find that a lot of work in the Discord is thanks to them. I won't lie. Me, myself, I'm kind of very disorganized. So if it wasn't for them, the Discord would probably look sloppy and or non-existent. So thank you, team. I really do appreciate your work. Alright, with that being said, let's dive into What If This Was It, Episode 1, Prologue. So I guess it kind of makes sense to talk about why I'm here today doing this series. And I guess the reasons really break down into two categories for me. So I'll start with the more negative one. And I'm about to tell you guys something, right? But it's not meant to be scary in any way. It's not meant to pass fear or be negative or something like that. It's just rather a cold hard fact that eventually, has to be faced. Alright, you ready? Here it is. I could die at any moment. Some guy could come into my room with a loaded gun. I could get in a car crash. Anything like that. And then before you know it, poof, I'm gone. And I'm not saying this as a matter of fear, in fact. Most people would associate the thought of dying with fear of dying. And while that is true, I think more kind of goes into that. Let me explain. Goes without saying that everyone wants to be happy, but that's also a loaded statement along with I could die at any moment, because happiness means something different for everyone. Being a chef can make this one person happy, whereas being a writer can make this other person happy. Like I said, it's different. Everyone lives different lives, and everyone has different goals that they want to achieve. But with all these different goals, there is one thing that remains the same, and that is you have to work to achieve them. Believe me, I would love to just sit back and let my dreams and wants come to me while I'm playing games such as Indiana Jones or Call of Duty or stuff like that. But that's not really how life works. You gotta get up and work for what you want. So if anything, the thought of this could be my last day serves more as a thought of motivation instead of thought of fear. The thought kind of gives purpose, purpose to get out there and do things, because I would rather die knowing I got out there and I worked for things instead of sitting there not even trying to achieve anything. And then that kind of ties into my second reason, which is more positive, and that's the fact that I want to do something. So I won't lie, I think this project has been one of the most motivating projects I've started, because it ties my creative skills into helping. Hopefully helping. I won't lie, I've kind of been hardwired to feel the need to help people. It's been a thing since I was a little boy. That's just how I was born. Helping people makes me feel good. And that means hopefully, this will do that. This will help people. This will mean something. That's probably my biggest goal of this podcast. And then, of course, making this podcast grow bigger and bigger over time, therefore reaching more people. Now, doing this series and building the community, it all comes with rules, right? For the people and for myself. But the biggest thing is respect. Whether it's me talking to you guys or people in the community talking to each other, I would really like to emphasize respect above it all. That means I'm not here to express or push my religious or political views on you guys, right? That's not my job. That's not the reason why I'm here doing this podcast. Like I said, hopefully this will mean something for other people. But in order to get it to mean something for other people, I gotta put religion and politics aside. Because everyone's views are different. And everyone's views are gonna be different about the podcast too. But that's okay. I want us to be able to have open-minded and fun discussions with each other, but that can only happen if we respect each other's viewpoints. And I don't know how you guys feel about politics, but politics just doesn't do that for me. Therefore, needless to say, I will not be imposing any of that stuff on you. I want you guys to feel comfortable here, and imposing my views on you, that would not do that. Alright, so we talked about the basics, the rules, and that stuff, and I don't want to keep you guys too much longer, as this is really just an introduction episode. But I do want to let you all know what's coming next for the series. So let's talk about my next episode, the first big kahuna, as I like to call it. It is called Wants, Wishes, Regrets. And I won't spoil too much here, but I just really want to give a quick premise. So I'll be diving into the past, talking a little more about my school life and how I wish some things were different. I'll talk more on that next episode. But mainly, I just want to show what all that means to me, the wants, the wishes, and the regrets, and the kind of higher meaning that I think it holds. So please stay tuned for that. Secondly, a little bit more about the Discord. If I can get up to 150 people to join, I will introduce live stream episodes. And what that means is I'll let people join me and they can ask questions, offer thoughts about the topics themselves, and maybe I'll ask questions as well. I already have my first live stream episode planned out, but that can only happen if more people see this and get involved. And really, that's because I can only talk about myself for so long, right? I could try talking myself for ages and ages, but really that would fail. So I can't keep this going and keep talking about me, myself, and I only. Within that, again, if you want to be featured on your own episodes of this podcast series, go to the Discord server. There'll be a channel called Podcast Features, and you'll enter there and simply just type out a little format. You'll type in your name. This can be your online name. I'm not going to expect you to give me your actual first name unless you want to. I'm not going to pry for personal information. Then you'll type in the topic that you want to talk about, and please make sure the topic relates to the overall theme. After that, you'll ping my name by typing @BatmanRocks. There should be a visual on how to spell it here, but type that without making fun of the name. Batman is awesome. I don't care what you say. And then send a message. Then I will look at it and get back to you from there. If somehow the Discord doesn't work for you as regards into requesting features, leave a comment. I'm more than willing to work with you guys and do whatever. With that being said, that wraps up all the time that I have for you guys today. So once again, I would really like to thank you for tuning in. And if you like what you heard today, please like, subscribe, and share. Doing this will help this podcast evolve and grow. And that's one of my biggest goals for doing this. That way, again, we can reach as many people as possible. And be on the lookout. There are plenty of awesome things to come. Me and my team are working hard to give you more awesome content. Thank you all. Have a great day. have a great night, whatever time you are watching this, and I will catch y'all later. Bye-bye.